Hello and welcome to Stewcast. I'm your host Anya Thakur, and today I'm joined by someone who don't really need a long introduction. Meet Mr. Adithya from Microsoft. And today he's going to give us some real talks about tech, career moves, and Microsoft. Hello and welcome to Chandigarh University, sir. It's a pleasure having you here with us. How are you and how was your day?
Thank you so much for having me today. And the day so far is great, and the university I've just explored a little. It's so good.
That's absolutely great to know, sir. So, firstly, I'd like to start by congratulating you on your recent book launch, which is one of the bestseller in US right now. So, why don't we start from talking about that? Like, what's the book all about, and like, what inspired you to become an author?
Okay. So yeah, I mean that was a dream for me from my college days. I initially wrote one stories book that did not go so well, but after that, this is my first tech book on Azure OpenAI. So I think it's launched somewhere around 2022. I mean the product, and that's when I've started writing it. And it took me around 2 years to complete this, not just me alone. I have a co-author who is from Seattle, US. So we both together wrote this. And this book mostly contains stuff starting from prompt engineering, very basic, and the basics of AI. And we made it very beginner friendly. So yeah, if you get a chance, please go and read that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And also, you own an NGO, right? By the name of Green Occasions.
Correct.
So, also, you own an NGO, and owning an NGO is one of the noble things that you can do for the society right now. And being so young, like, what inspired you to like take such a step? Was there any life experience that you faced or that like motivated you kind of that you want to open an NGO?
Maybe I'll talk about the motto behind starting this NGO. So I'm more into this greenery stuff, carbon emission. These topics create a lot of interest for me. So the name, if you observe, it's Green Occasion. So I want every occasion to be green. In sense, like if you have a birthday, there's a lot of waste that's coming out of it. If you have, like say maybe a marriage, you just imagine the waste that comes out of it, right? How can we start with making every occasion green, right? That's my initiative. And so if you observe in every cake cutting, it either starts or ends with a cake cutting. I mean, birthday will start or end with a cake cutting. So why can't watering a plant be a symbol of celebration if cake cutting can be a symbol of celebrations, right? It started like 1,000 years back when in the Western culture, where if someone comes to your house, they just used to cut a cake and give you, and that started showing up as a symbol of celebration. And we just blindly follow that and we celebrate that moment. But instead, what if we start a culture where you put a plant on a table and water it and see that as a symbol of celebration?
That's great. That's really great and motivating as well. So, if we now move towards your story and your journey, even from your early tech days, be it from startups to consulting, so what's that one habit or that one mindset that you have learned back then and that you still carry with you, like, and which is still helping you to be that problem solver in maybe your current role?
I think one thing that helped me, whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm there, right, being relevant with time. Like, say, if you go back 20 years back, I had my cousin brother who was studying in US while I was in school. So he used to tell me that he was building websites for customers. That's when we had this Web 2 technologies, Web 3 technologies coming in, and Web 2 technologies coming in. And he used to build websites for the companies and he used to earn money out of it. And I've seen one of my cousin, not my cousin, when I was in college back in 2014 or sometime. So a lot of people used to build Android apps, iOS apps. That's the trend back then. So I used to build Android apps as a freelancing to a lot of people and earn money out of it. And back then, that's a big thing. And then the time when I was doing my internship in Germany, I've seen a lot of people building skills for Alexa. The voice assistants came in. That's a big trend. So I remember days where I was going to a lot of hackathons on voice tech, and I think I've won in a couple of events there. So again, that's what I thought will be the next big thing, but later it slowly came down in the year 2019. just because people thought that voice is not the only medium people can communicate, and that's very limited space. So that slowly started coming down, and then now we are seeing this buzz of AI, Gen AI, ChatGPT, Copilot, and all this stuff coming in. So I think now again I've started learning that stuff, and started experimenting early. And when that technology is up in the market, I've started writing a book, and fortunately that's going well in the market now. So yeah, I think staying relevant is one thing that's helping me.
Absolutely great to know, sir. Also, like as you mentioned, AI, and like back in your early days, even when you were so young, you like made a utilization of your time. So, what is that one life advice or maybe lesson that you wanna give to the students? Like, how can they use AI in their free time to make the most out of it?
So maybe I can't give an advice, but I can say some real personas that I've seen, because I deliver a lot of sessions in these universities, and I do interact with a lot of students who are doing really well. So I know one student who built a rock paper scissor game with his computer. Okay, not big tech, just JavaScript, HTML, and CSS, nothing else. No AI involved there. So with just that, he built rock paper scissors in just 1 2 hours. And whenever he has free time, he plays with that and keeps improving the game, and sees strategies how he can win and understands how it is getting randomized. Right. So and I know a guy who built a chess game to train himself in chess, and now I think now the students should see educational institutes as a place where they can experiment things, right? There is a lot of opportunity now, and AI has become abstracted. People can use AI for a lot of stuff, and now they can think of how they can become entrepreneurs.
Absolutely right. And as you mentioned, the involvement of educational institute, like here at Chandigarh University, we also focus like immensely on industry based and industry collaborated learning, like which like we want our students to be industry ready from the day one, like, and also with the industry collaborated skill center that is coming up. So how do you think such kind of initiatives and such kind of collaborations are like changing the education system, the academics, and how important do you think such kind of things are for the students?
When we talk about industry collaboration, I remember days when I was learning AIML stuff back in 2015, 2016. That's when I used to learn examples where people build a program or a model to recognize whether the image is a cat or a dog, right? And recently I've given a session in some university where they are still doing the same thing, right? And we've evolved a lot from 2015 or 2010. Now we are actually doing a lot of real time applications. If you start doing the same thing even now in 2025, it's not going to be relevant. I mean, you can obviously, you have to start there. That's the fundamental basic stuff everyone will teach you. But if you think that's the only thing that can be done at a college, that's not correct. They should start thinking in a broader perspective, see how they can solve real world problems, how industries are solving real world problems, how other student entrepreneurs are building technology initiatives, right? I think all of this can come from industry experts. Maybe if they listen more from them, I think these kind of ideas can pop up, and they can start thinking that way. I think that's going to change the way they start thinking and start looking at how to pursue their career.
Yeah. And as you mentioned, then there were like so many reels that I was scrolling that how it is doing the breach of privacy. Now AI have your images and that it could be used in any such ways. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think privacy is most debated topic these days, mainly in AI, right? So simple thing is, I see people complaining that your phone is always hearing,
Yes, absolutely. Because
right?
whenever we start
Whenever
talking,
you have a conversation with someone on your phone, like say, I think recently I was talking to my cousin about a dental problem. So she was suggesting me to go to so and so doctor and visit, and the next day I opened, I kept seeing a lot of dentist advertisements, dental hospital advertisements on my Instagram feed, right? I think that way privacy has become a big concern for everyone. As we as developers, right? I can't comment on what others are doing, but as we as developers, if we can keep that privacy as a key point when we are building AI applications, right? And I think there are a lot of policies that are also built mainly in EU region, European regions. They have very strong policies. I think now they are also doing something in India to have some strong policies on people who build AI, right? If we have some strong policies in place, and also people, developers, companies think ethically, then I think we can get rid of all these privacy issues.
Now, I'd like to ask that if you were a student again and studying here, so what would you be most excited about if you got to know that like such kind of skill center is launching here, and the industry collaborated learning kind of skill centers, and to the students who are really keen and want to build a career in this industry, like what would excite you the most?
For me, I think if I was a student, I'm a student now, maybe I look more in terms of how I can become an entrepreneur using all this collaborations that I have, right? Now, if I have to build a company, example thing, first thing that I need to do is have a first solving a problem. If I have some idea, have to build a website or app, mobile app, which can be now done in a day with all these developer tools that are available and accessible, and build a logo. I can just go to the designer, Microsoft designer, ask, give the idea, and it is giving me a very nice logo, right? And build a social media website, social media campaign or something. Again, these tools like Copilots are giving me ideas and thoughts on how to build the social media campaigns, do marketing and all that stuff, right? And all of that is happening within few minutes, and it's in the fingertips, right? I'll look in more in terms of how to become an entrepreneur using all these technologies, and how I can use this time in college to try and fail early in my career, so that the next trial, maybe next time, even if I fail in a better way.
That's great to know. So I believe, thank you so much. It was great having a conversation with you, and would like to see you more at Chandigarh University. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.